busy streets, so why should she be afraid?
Okay.
She walks out with a blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade.
Stop it! Oh my lord. Hello, gals, blokes, and all other folks. My name is Mortius, and today we are here with a very special guest, Lydia the Bard. How are you, my dear?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited.
Thank you for being here. This feels so overdue. I am so excited for this. I have loved checking out your music on my channel. All of the villain songs have been just incredible. And then not only do I genuinely and truly love the villain songs, but I was like, oh, cute parodies that like I would have used to be into, but like now aren't really my thing, even though I respect the talent. And then checked out the, oh my gosh, now I can't remember the name of it because only Feed Us Your Girls is in my brain right now, but...
What would have been? Maybe Don't Cry?
Yes, Don't Cry for Your Daughter's Eve. Blew my mind out of the water. And everyone was like, that means you have to check out Feed Us Your Girls. And now, not only do I finally get to make my comment section happy, I get to do it with you, the creator, and I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited you're excited. And I'm glad that I'll get to have a, second chance at a first impression, considering the only direct interaction we've had before was my absolutely terrible PowerPoint presentation.
No, I loved it. It was incredible.
Okay,
that
good.
PowerPoint presentation night was, I had the best time.
That PowerPoint night was so incredible. I still want to like turn a part of it into like an actual video at some point, but that's an entirely different conversation for a different day. Today, we are here with Feed Us Your Girls. What can you kind of say about it in advance that you feel like will help increase my enjoyment, or just context, like where was your mind at when you wrote this? Obviously there's going to be a lot to learn and know
There's a lot I can tell you,
once we get into it, but as far as like a before you watch it, like what spurred you to write this? Where's the mind at?
So a lot of my personal songs and the stuff that I want to write will always lean towards things that make me angry about society. That's a big theme in all of my personal music, whether that's like billionaires or capitalism or sexism or whatever it is, or classism. Like I often will, if it makes me angry, and I will probably write a song about it. So I had wanted to write this song for a really long time. I had the lyrics all in my notes page for maybe 6 months, but I could never quite get the melody right until we settled on this melody. But context before we watch it, what you should know, it's written as a song kind of calling out predatory behavior in older men towards younger girls specifically. I mean, towards women in general. But the song is the reason I wanted to write it is because I was kind of looking back at the first experience I had as a teenage girl of realizing that the body that I once was safe in was like a little bit of a danger to me all of a sudden, and that it was a really hard realization. And like the freedom of being a child and being like, I'm gonna wear whatever I want because I'm a kid and no one should care, then suddenly becoming, I've turned 13 and I've seen someone, I had a nasty experience, someone sexualized my body for the first time. I was 13 years old, very overtly shouting at me from a car. I was by myself in the dark at a bus stop. It was awful. It's a core memory. And I remember, that'll stick with you forever. And I remember, because I was at the bus stop, I'd come home from a dance class and I was just getting the bus home at 13. And I was in my school blazer, so you could tell I was a student. I'm in the UK, we have school uniform. I was in my school blazer, and I had just leggings on. And I remember thinking, I remember thinking not like, oh, what terrible men, the problem is them. I remember thinking I'm never going out in leggings again because I figured that was why they were watching me. It's really horrible. And it makes
blame turning inward and the self-blame, the self, yes. Oh my gosh.
It's grim. It's like, it makes me quite emotional thinking about it now, actually.
Understandable.
So I wanted to write a song about that experience of suddenly kind of realizing that your body isn't something you're safe in anymore, but almost from the perspective and of like a little bit of the song is told kind of from the perspective and with language from like a predator or from like a person. Like in the song, the language is quite, I wrote it to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable because I wanted it to be provocative. I wanted it to provoke a reaction for people that had gone through that, for them to go, I like identify with it, or for people that maybe are guilty of that, for them to feel something.
Yeah.
It was important because I'm very much like, my art, I want it to make someone feel something. I want it to make them question themselves. I want it to be empowering.
Yes.
I want it to be cathartic. So that's where the songs come from. That is its foundation.
Yeah.
From that, then there's a lot of metaphor and imagery with Little Red Riding Hood within it. But I'm not going to spoil it now.
Yes, yes. That we'll get to when we get there.
That's your context.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, and I'm really excited to hop into it and have warning for the audience, we are probably going to hop into some really heavy conversation within this because my album that I released is about my own essay experience. But also it was really interesting, as you mentioned, like I want there to be feeling and discomfort from both directions because I always want to be transparent. I never want to be like something that appears beyond mortal when I'm on a camera like this. And this is so dangerous and nerve-wracking. I can feel my heart rate rising to even say this online, but I've been on both sides. I've had a situation where I realized after the fact that, oh, that wasn't the way I should have handled that. I made someone feel uncomfortable and unsafe. I need to
I think it's such a learning
fix that
thing.
And change that. So like I have been on both sides of this conversation. I received something unforgivable from a roommate and friend of many years, and then also after that's the worst part to me, coming to terms with it. After I was already experienced that, realizing then after the fact that I turned around, and not to the same extent, but still made someone feel uncomfortable and unsafe, and have to learn about that, have to move past that, have to attempt to build bridges within myself. Exactly. And so I'm so I'm so excited to hop into this. So thank you for bringing this art into the world.
No, that's all right.
And warning to the audience, we're gonna probably dive into some hefty things here, but I'm really, really excited for it. So I think without any further ado, let's check out Lydia the Bard, Feed Us Your Girls. So as we kind of mentioned in the intro, guys, we've got a more specific trigger warning here. Video contains themes and imagery related to sexual violence and abuse, victim blaming, gender-based violence and graphic language, and metaphorical depictions of harm. If any of that is very difficult for you, of course, please make sure you are taking care of yourself, especially because Lydia and I aren't going to mince words. I want to talk about this as much as it deserves to be talked about, and so if that's a sensitive subject for you, please take care of yourself. Oh. And who was the animation for this one?
That is maybe MacDC is the animation for this one.
Cool, I think I've seen them.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Yes. They did a little bit of epic stuff, I think, at one point.
Oh, did they?
Random crossover. Yeah, I think they had an animatic go out ages ago. I think that's how I found them. I was like, oh, you're really cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Young girl or a pretty meal.
First 5 words. First 5 words, Lydia. First 5 words.
Young girl or a pretty meal.
Oh,
I feel like
man.
it really sets the tone for the song.
It really does.
It was important that, it was important for me that the first line really kind of communicated where we were going very quickly and made it very clear to a listener the story we were telling.
Yeah.
It's like, you now know what ride you're strapped into.
That is
you know
really
exactly
important.
where we're going with this.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
The line is just terrifying.
The place, stop it.
Little Red walked out alone, joining the buffet of the night. See the wolves, they wait and watch now, hoping for a bite. Fresh meat on a busy street, the minute you're out of sight.
Wow, yeah. That's just incredible. From a animatic standpoint, are you someone who kind of just delivers the lyrics and says, do what you think, or do you kind of actually like sketch out a...
Heavily involved.
Okay, cool.
So I will, with every animatic that I artist that I work with, I'll write a full kind of creative brief.
Cool.
Which will outline exactly what the song is about. So they've got a really clear idea of the story we're telling. I'll then have like minute by minute kind of chunks of, this is the story I see happening.
Sick.
This is what I can visually see in my brain. And then when I tell you it's thousands of words, these documents take me so long to write. Because the visual is so important to me. It's so important that these songs and the stories that I'm telling are told in an accurate way that absolutely conveys what the song should be doing.
I love that.
So I feel so sorry sending them these documents. That when I tell you, they're so long. But I'm like, here's all of the information you could possibly need. There's no way you could now go wrong. Like, you've got all the information is on this document.
That makes sense.
And then there's a lot of like creative license and there's a lot of collaboration that happens after that. So you'll have, that is like our foundation. And then the animatic artists will oftentimes like present their ideas and their thoughts. So a lot of this stuff is also from maybe MacDC and the thoughts they've had.
Very
and
collaborative in nature.
Yeah, very much so. They'll be like, oh, this could be a really important and an interesting visual that matches the song. And I'm like, absolutely yes. Because they've got brilliant ideas and they will then storyboard it.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure every once in a while there's like, oh, maybe not. But most of the time when an animator comes in with something, it's going to be like, yeah, that's awesome. I also had one other... You are not someone with like... who I usually have a hard time hearing lyrics for. And if these weren't on screen, like, there's definitely a lot less diction in this song than in a lot of other things I've checked out. Is that supposed to be, like, just the lack of confidence and, like, the mushing of words? Or, like, what's the thought process?
It's when because these are leaning different stylistically to, like, the villain songs and stuff.
Of course.
When I'm singing them, I think I focus more on the sound of the vocal and how I'm delivering it and not as much on the diction. I think for this I wanted it to feel whispery and a bit like shh, like a little bit like you can go in and figure out what the lyrics are and have a look and read them should you like to. But now it's not in a musical theatre style. I do just change up how I'm singing a little bit. And things do get mushed together a bit. I just like the sound.
Fair enough.
Honestly,
no, I mean that's a great reason. But yeah, I was just curious about that because I'm like, you've got solid diction, and like I remember like when you're working on other projects, like I checked out Achilles' Lullaby, and I was like, those lyrics are like on point each time. And now this one's like they're like joining us
because we're leaning,
and I was like, ooh, that's so is like groovy, but almost like losing some of the consonants there. Which is interesting.
I think it's very much because we're like swapping genre here a little bit. It's not MT, so I'm letting it be a little bit lazier, and then also allows it to be a little bit spookier. I think if my diction was too pronounced, it takes you out of the feeling of the song a little bit, and you start listening to the lyrics, which is like great.
But the emotion.
The emotion is what I'm trying to get across, and the unsettling feeling of all of those instruments and the vocal coming together to make a certain sound and feeling for the listener, as opposed to telling a story, which for Achilles' Lullaby, the words are so important.
Yes.
The words are very important here, but...
I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Cool. Okay, I'm glad I asked that.
Little Red walked out alone, joining the buffet of the night. animals, they wait and watch now, hoping for a bite. Fresh meat on a busy street, the minute you're out of sight. Little red walked out of them, joining the buffet of the night. Little red, she knows these streets, so why should she be afraid?
Okay.
She walks out with a blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade.
Stop it! Oh my lord. No.
She knows these streets, so why should she be afraid? She walks out with a blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade.
And exactly what you were talking about, the intro, that like, I should be safe. This is my body. This is my color.
Exactly.
These are my streets. There is
Yeah.
nothing about this situation that shouldn't belong
Yeah.
to me except for him.
That shouldn't be safe.
That
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah, yeah.
be
It's very
mine.
much
And
that.
yet they,
Yeah.
wow. What a I mean, even if you hadn't said the intro, what a great way to convey that. Convey, like, I love how everything is like, I know these, or she knows these streets, why should she be afraid? She wears this color, but that's his favorite shit. Like, everything about it is
Yeah.
like, this should be okay.
Yeah.
Nothing about this situation shouldn't be okay, and yet. Oh,
And
that's
yet,
so well done.
and yet suddenly it's become dangerous. Yeah, I think it was very much wanting to tell that story of this is a space and an area that this character in this song knows like the back of her hand, or like I knew my streets like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
You've always felt safe there. There's never been any issues, and then suddenly, a predator looks at you and has suddenly decided that you're actually not safe, and they've made that decision for you. They've decided, I'm now going to make that space that you thought was safe unsafe now, and it's going to change it. So that was
Yeah, that's
where we went with
very
that.
well done, very
She
poignantly
walks out
written.
with a blood red cloak, but red's his favorite shade. You'll attract the wrong attention, wearing colors such as those.
Oh.
Boys will be boys, wolves will be wolves, but what does mother know? Feed us your girls, the wolves shout out. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without.
Oh! Man, the musical switch up, the everything, but then like the ones with curves, the one without, like, how well done to start the chorus with almost intentional victim blaming, like wearing colors such as and how you say, like, sorry, there's so much.
No.
Like, the idea of, like, wearing colors such as those, obviously that, like, well, what was she wearing? Bullshit. Like, all of that happening there. But then to turn it back around and, like, feed us your girls, those with curves, those without, being like, no, it doesn't even matter. Because all that matters is the power. Like, it's
the guy suddenly decides that he's going to be a predator and you're the person he's picked.
Yep.
It's not your fault. It's just someone's decided they want to hurt someone and you've become that person, not by any fault of your own.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Boys will be boys, wolves will be wolves, but what does mother know?
Woohoo!
Feed us your girls, the wolves shout out. Feed us the ones with curves, the ones without.
Oh.
Feed us your girls, from plate to mouth. Honey, you're the entree when you dress like that and mother's never around.
Stop it! Oh, I mean, that line speaks for itself. I don't even have anything else to say about it. I just needed a moment to recover from it.
I just needed to take a second.
When you dress like that and mother's never around.
Wow. And the wolf imagery is stunning here, obviously. Absolutely incredible stuff. Like, this is just, it's beautiful. It's so well done. And the, like, flashes back and forth from the street to the forest, like, the literal versus the metaphorical is just, it's beautiful. It's all incredible.
Thank you.
Don't arrives and dinner scraps are on the street from just last night.
Oh, the whisper and the audio design, the way that the whispers are different in your right and left ear is insane. Oh, whew. Man.
Thank you
God,
so much. Again, we wanted it to feel a little bit scary and a little
No,
bit
it's
spooky and like
working.
a little bit off-putting.
No, more and more lately, I feel like I notice people playing with like left and right panning. So like it's definitely
It's
so
fun.
worth having a good audio system.
Yeah,
This
for
feels
sure.
feels slightly disingenuous as we're on such a heavy subject, but as a reminder to you all, if you want really good headphones for 5% off, I do have that Razer link in the affiliate, and these are my favorite headphones. I always like
Nice.
I hate doing scripted ad reads, so I always try to like incorporate them when I'm naturally
them in when
talking
it
about
feels
it.
right.
But then
Yeah.
every once in a while that does come at a moment where it's like, oh, that was such a beautiful like example of like the horror of being a woman. Now give me money. Like sometimes it doesn't come at the best time, but I always try to make them natural.
Just like that,
Hey.
mother's never around.
Oh, that
Wow.
wow. Oh, that's so good.
People whisper it's a fault with a red so very bright.
That was that animatic artist's idea. They were like, I think this could be a really important and like poignant thing to do, is to, because the idea of Little Red is that she's every woman that's ever existed, and that she's every girl and she's every old woman. It doesn't really matter. Like everyone is Little Red at some point, and everyone faces a wolf at some point. And I remember then like kind of pitching the idea, and I was like, that is going to break my heart to watch, but also I think it's a really, really important thing to have in the video and to recognize.
Incredible. Yeah, because I was already just waiting for the end of that line to pause and talk about like how cool and poignant it is that like just like a different, like even if a woman isn't the victim, they still have to see it happen to everyone around them. Like there's always that
they still have to experience that.
Right, there's always that stat.
It could have been them.
Exactly. People like have that stat of like, you know, the 1 in 5, which is already an atrocious number, but like people are scared to go in the ocean, and shark attacks are 1 in 5,000.
So rare. Yeah.
And so if people like the emotional even if you are, in big air quotes, lucky enough to be in the 4 out of 5 that doesn't directly experience it, you still have to watch 20% of the people who have your heart, your parts, your place in society have all of this happening. And that's so cool and poignant to share there. And then to have the red just in the slightest appearing on this young girl, that's so powerful. Props to the artist. That's stunning and awful and beautiful and and ooh.
I know. That's the exact reaction I wanted this song to have, was like, oh, that's horrible, but also so important.
Yes.
And I feel uncomfortable, but also that's true and does happen.
Yes.
Because again, like this was very much inspired by my experience as a young girl. So it's important to remember that like it's not adult women, it's not like teenagers, it's also young girls that face this and get sexualized very, very young by predatory men.
Absolutely.
Obviously, like it's something that everyone then has to go through. So it was important for us to represent it in the video.
Even not like people who are inherently predatory. Like my biggest thing, like that, like you got infant onesies that say lady killer. Like what are we talking about? Like from the earliest age, even if it's not intended, like not to diminish what you're saying at all, but
no, you're right.
Also almost feel like being like from the youngest age there will still be this issue from predators. You're right, but from everything, from every direction, not just from predatory humans.
Yeah,
or at least
it's
not
like you should be able to just let children be children. Well, you'll get it from women as well who have internalized misogyny and will look at younger girls and be like, "Wow, she's gonna break hearts when she's older." Like, no, don't say that. She's 10.
Yeah.
Like, no, she's not going to do that because she's 10 years old, and we're not going to imagine what this young girl's going to look like and what her, like, it's just...
Relationship, 100%.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
common horse, someone cover up the sight. No one likes to see leftovers by the dawning light. And there's a buffet every
Oh, stop it, animator. I'm always such a sucker for a good reflection face shot, whether it's used as a positive or a negative. Like, that's one of my favorite bits in Spider-Verse, in a positive way. One of my favorite scenes in Gravity Falls in a negative way. I love, like scene turned reflection. I love that, and to convey that through animation in this way is mwah.
And there's a buffet
Oh.
every night.
Oh.
Little red shingles, woods, each tree and every stone. Doesn't matter either way when there's a wolf inside your home.
You're stopping it like every 5 seconds.
I'm- Listen. Don't. You sounding like my comment section. Leave me alone. No, it's because everything has a reason.
Doesn't matter either way when there's a wolf inside your home.
That one's, and to turn it back
This one was a-
around. Because
Well, this one we wanted
yeah.
to tell a bit of a different story because each character, Little Red is represented by 3 characters in this song. So this is character number 2, and it was important to us that it's not always strangers on a street. It's the people within your home that are
Yep.
that are the most likely to
Yes,
abuse you.
most likely, exactly.
So it was important that that was represented in the video as you come home again to the place that should be safe and should be home, but there's nothing you can do. And who do you go to when the wolf in this instance is living in your safe space and you can't actually get away from them? How and what do you do about that? So it was important that we had that represented here as well.
Yeah, that hits. That hits. That's oh man, that's so well done.
Growlings, you throw the dog a bone.
Oh.
Catch more bees with honey, dear, but what does mother know?
I really, in my brain, was like, I'm gonna go longer without pausing since she brought it up, and then you hit me with,
You can hear the growlings, you throw the dog a bone.
that's incredible. I mean, that's another line that speaks for itself.
you.
But like,
Yeah, it's very much like you can hear that something's going on, so you try and smile and like de-escalate. But it doesn't matter how much you might try and prevent conflict or prevent something awful from happening. If someone's decided they're going to do something awful to you, they're going to do something awful.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
That's,
again, it's very much like,
God, that
hey,
hits
maybe
me.
you should have smiled at him. Maybe you shouldn't have like been angry when they did that thing and that thing wouldn't have happened. Or maybe you should have just been a bit nicer. And it's like, well, no, actually, no. If someone horrible is going to do something predatory,
and
they're gonna do it.
That's what this second verse, like, I am very grateful to have the body and color and societal status that I have, that first verse isn't relatable to me. I am safe on the street.
Yeah.
I'm safe when I go outside. I get to know these streets and know that they're safe and know that I'm okay. But this second verse hits so much worse because my wolf was in my home.
Yeah.
And everything you're saying about that, and like the way you can be like, well, if I had just, well, if you did this differently, if you had given a little, if you had thrown the dog a bone, maybe, but
Nothing
Lydia!
can change
Bees with honey, dear, but what does mother know? Feed us your girls.
Oh,
Shout out, feed us the ones with curves, the ones without. Feed
now
us
she has the
your
hood
girls.
too.
From plate to mouth, honey, you're the entree when you dress like that. Little red was not a meal, a little girl is not a tease. A cloak is not an invitation for what's underneath.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, there's no
Oh, every line, Lydia. what is your lyric writing process like? Because I had Dreamscape written
Yeah.
for 6 years before I turned it into a song, and it went through changes and adjustments and everything, and you create so consistently and so like consistently in frequency, but also consistency and quality. So like what is your process to be able to find words this perfect and this poignant so consistently?
It really depends on the kind of song I'm trying to write. So this one took me a little while because there was a very, very specific reaction I wanted to get when you listened to it.
Am I fulfilling?
And it was yeah, you are.
Woo!
Yeah. That's the reaction I wanted. Is like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I want. So this one took a while. My general lyric writing process, it really depends on the kind of song I'm writing.
Fair.
If it's a more musical theater style song, then it leans more like communicating emotions, and it leans more storytelling, and it leans a little bit more narrative. Whereas when it's something in a song like this, I'm not trying to communicate like a character so much, but I'm trying to communicate a feeling, and I'm trying to communicate I want a very specific reaction from the listener.
Yeah.
So I would say these take a little bit longer, and I'm a little bit more careful with my words and a little bit more metaphorical and a little bit more detail oriented, again because I'm wanting a very specific reaction. So for a song like this, I decided I wanted like themes of food and themes of like consumption. I wanted a Little Red Riding Hood and a war metaphor throughout the whole thing. I also wanted to tell like a story of a few like different scenarios and make sure I hit different scenarios as we were going through.
Yes.
When we get to the bridge is probably the place where language wise I get a little bit more literal. So I've been a little bit metaphorical and maybe not super like blunt about exactly what I'm saying throughout the whole thing. Then when we got to the bridge, it was important that I maybe simplified it a bit and was like, okay, if you haven't figured out what the song's about until now, you're going to get it really, really clear in the bridge. And that's the point where it's like, just in case you haven't gotten the idea.
Somehow it's still going over your head.
If it's gone over your head, this is what I've been trying to say that whole time. Very clear. You're not going to miss it.
If you've somehow ducked under the point, I will make sure it hits you in the face.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure it just slaps you right around the face.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, like just lyric writing is very important. I have a specific theme. I'll probably have a specific metaphor running throughout it.
Yeah.
And we'll work from there.
Okay, I love that.
Beneath thunder does not mean yes. There's no riddle, there's no test. Blood red clothes alone at night shouldn't equal death. But the wolves are very hungry, gnashing pointed teeth. Don't care what the rapper's like, it'll eat you if you breathe. Maybe it doesn't matter how we choose to wrap our skin, 'cause you prefer to blame the gods. Deal with your own sin.
Beautiful. And the bringing back of it, the like da 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 da.
Really whispery.
Like the way like it's like build, bring it back for the hit.
Pull it all back.
And then beautiful. And those whispers too.
Feed us your girls. The wolf shall feed us.
Whoa! Oh! Yes! Incredible. Absolutely
Thank
incredible.
you.
That I totally understand why everyone was so excited for me to check that one out. And I'm so glad you could be along for the ride. Is there
great.
anything within that like you wanted me to catch that I didn't, or you want to share with the audience? Yeah, please.
Yes. One thing, which was just at the very end.
Okay.
Because we wanted it to have a feeling of like women coming together and being able to like stand up to it in some way and have a little bit of reclaiming the story at the very end. But what's really important at the end of the video, and what was really important to me, is that understanding that just because like that it is a prevalent issue and that it is something that that isn't solved by just sending like one person to prison or catching one person. The wolves in this situation exist everywhere, and you don't know who they are and you don't know where they are. So at the very end, they catch the wolf and they cage it. But then you see glowing eyes in the background all light up.
Oh.
So it's just at this very end, and then you see eyes. Just as a little detail to kind of be like, but it's not a problem that it is solved.
Exactly.
It's not something you can
like,
just
there
fix.
is hope and there is something you can do about it, but there's not anything you can do to fix it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like we can do something, and we can like continue to like advocate and continue to work as a society to stop violence against women and sexual violence in general.
Yeah.
But until you've kind of hit the source, and until real structural changes happened, wolves will continue to exist. Like, it's just how it is. So that was important to me. I think one of the other things in this video as well that I wanted to mention, and what's also really important to me, when I was chatting to the artist about what we did with this video, you never really get to humanize the wolf or the character or the silhouette throughout the video. It was important to me that it didn't have a face, that it didn't look too human, because it's not, for me, I'm like, it's not their story. This isn't a story for you to look at this person. Also, I don't want to give them a human face.
Exactly.
I don't want to give them anything. I don't want to give that, like, whoever that person is in this video, I don't want to give them any facial features. I don't want to give them any identity. All they are is representing the predator. And yeah, it's important to me that the story was not fixed on them, but the people that you saw and humanized were the victims within the story. Was there anything else I wanted to mention? I think the last thing I wanted to mention and kind of talk about within sexism is just to make it very clear also that I am a white woman.
Yes.
So within the space of women that exist throughout the world, I am in a position of power because I'm white. Obviously, I'm a woman, but because of that, my experience of sexism is going to be very different to any other women that exist in marginalized communities throughout the world.
Absolutely.
Where I could go to the police if something happened and speak to them and be taken seriously. A woman of color might not be able to do that. Or like, say someone's an immigrant and doesn't speak brilliant English, and they haven't learned the language yet, and they want to go, well, this is specifically poignant, I guess, for the US. They want to go to the police about something, but you've got a whole immigration crisis with ICE at the moment.
Yep.
Will you go and report that? Because or will you be worried about your immigration status? Exactly. So how can you trust the powers that be, I guess? Well, I can, and I have that privilege. But there are so many women that don't have that privilege and don't have access to resources. So I wanted to just make that point as well throughout that this is me discussing this as a white woman. There is so much intersectionality within this issue. And the fact that I feel like I really struggle with facing sexism and it makes me this angry. You've got to imagine kind of what it is for all the other marginalized communities of women that exist. And of men as well, because it's not just an issue for women. Like, sexual violence isn't just an issue for women, it's also an issue for men and for people of any gender identity. Like, it doesn't, if you're a predator, you're a predator. And you might be a predator towards women, you might be a predator towards men, you might be a predator towards anyone. So that was important as well. I think that's all I wanted to say.
That is very crucial. I'm glad you shared it. That was incredible. Thank you so much for joining me. This is one of two videos we are checking out in this record session, so make sure you are catching next week so that you can see us checking out. Remind me the name?
The Woods!
The Woods! Oh, that just feels like the perfect continuation. I don't know whether or not it is, but it sure feels like it is.
It is.
Oh, wonderful. So definitely make sure you swing by next week. These will be going up in the Wednesday slots back to back. So next week we'll be checking out The Woods together. But I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much to the patrons scrolling on the other side of the screen for making videos like this possible. Thank you to Lydia for joining me. And as always, gals, blokes, and all other folks, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.